Welcome back to another Kids Room podcast episode. And today we're going to be getting into how the process usually looks nothing like your future. We get so stuck on how things look in the present time that we forget what God's plans and purposes are for us. That we get God's wait or maybe and we take it as forever. We don't take it as maybe it's just a process and that the process is going to look different sometimes. Your gift can be used in multiple ways. The things that God can do with you can be in multiple positions, in multiple different areas, not just your ministry. For people that think that ministry is going to be a full-time thing, you still must work. You still have to do other things outside of your ministry, right? Which is what usually ministry is. It's things that you do that help in your faith, helping other people. That's ministry. Speaking to people, doing motivational speeches, that's ministry. Being a pastor, that's ministry. Being a musician, that's ministry. However you use your gift in order to produce the fruit of the Spirit, that around you, when people know who you are, who you talk to, at the end of the day, they know that, hey, that guy right there or that woman right there, they're a woman of God, they're a man of God, they're someone of purpose, they're someone that has morals, that has goals, that has dreams, just based off of the way that you drink, or the way that you probably carry yourself, the way that you speak, the way that you see things. Because most times the process is just the build up, right? If you want to be a basketball player, most times you have to level up to be a basketball player. You start off as a little kid, you start to practice and you gain other skills. You play against people that are better than you. You lose a lot, you win a lot. And it's a lot of in between in order to get a championship, whatever level that you're at, right? And that's with anything. With a job, it's a promotion. It's with a family. If you want to have kids, it's waiting for pregnancy and doing things like that, waiting for marriage. As you get older, that you're learning to get a house, or you're learning to want a career, or that you're learning to see what kind of person that you want to be. All that stuff takes patience. All that stuff is a process. And God is strategically making those steps and making those arrangements for your path, for your feet to be, every time you walk, everywhere you go, it's going to be gold. You want the things that you touch to be gold. You want things that you touch to become blessed, the things that you are a part of to become blessed. You want your name to be of value, to be a brand, to be something of significance, something of contribution, something of positivity at the end of the day. Because the process isn't going to look like the future. In your mind, God gave you a vision of something, and right now it's not going to look nothing like that probably. And you're not going to have any idea why it's going to look like that or how it's going to end up looking like that. But that's not up to you to decide on when God is going to do something or how he's going to do something. You just have to wait to see how and when he does it. Because God is preparing us through life. He doesn't want you to have everything at once. I wouldn't feel as if I'm more confident if I had everything at once, but more as if I start to work for it, I don't get it as quick, right? Sometimes you start to gain those skills, you start to manifest other things outside of the materialistic things, or outside of the goal that you were originally focused on. You start to focus on other things, you start to see other things that you probably need to work on, or maybe there's some things that you're probably good at that you didn't know, and you're becoming a better person. You're becoming a person that is of many talents, right? Or a master of a few things, right? And knowing how to capitalize, how to strategically put your steps and materialize and manifest everything that you want in this life, and continue to take those correct steps towards that way, right? So, it takes a lot of, I'll say, discipline. It takes a lot of determination, and it takes a lot of ability to be able to see the brighter side in things. To know that things aren't going to always come quick, but the things that aren't always going to come quick, God can switch it up. God can flip things around in an instant for you, as if whenever the hero is almost about to give their life in a movie or in a story, and an event happens where their life may be saved because they weren't meant to go, right? I don't want to be a spoiler, but just how in the movie Mufasa, I just recently saw that, and it's something. And one of the characters, they said that Sokka, who was Scar, served his purpose. He already served his purpose, and it wasn't to be king. It was to help and save Mufasa to be king. I don't want to spoil anything, but like that's what it was. That's what it was about. And for most times, we don't even realize sometimes we might not be the main character in things, but we're helping the main character. We're going to become someone through somebody else, maybe, right? So you being able to bless others and utilize your gift, people can bless you through that, right? That's all through the process. You have to meet people, you have to do things, you have to be stretched along, you have to be built up, you have to be broken down, you have to be going through certain things so God can form you into the person that you're supposed to be, right? Not always the person that we want to be, but the person that we're supposed to be. The person that you feel fulfilled in every instance because you probably are seeking the presence of God mainly most times of your life. If you get to a position where you start to seek God about everything and you start to think about God and think about what is the lesson and all the hardships that I'm having in this journey in life, what is God doing in the meantime of me struggling and me praying and crying out to him? What is God doing? And God is just working it all out. God is making sure that the process doesn't look like the future because he doesn't want you to forget about him. He wants you to realize that you have to go through all these things in order to fulfill what he wanted you to fulfill. The same way Joseph had to be sold away as a slave, and then he became someone of authority, was in the house. The wife of the king wanted to seduce him. He ran away. He got caught up still, went to prison, became someone in prison because God was with him. And constantly in the story of Joseph, it keeps saying that God is with him. God is with him. Even when he's going through things, God is with him. And he's still blessed. And even somehow when he's on the bottom, he's still on the top. He's on the top of the bottom. If you're at the bottom, as long as you're still submerged and you can keep your head above water and continue to swim and continue to rise slowly and get your neck and then your shoulders and then your torso and so on, you begin to walk on water. You begin to have faith as Jesus. You start to focus on Jesus. You start to focus on God and what he's trying to do for you and everything like that. That it's not what we see is going to be a forever situation, but it's something that is God that's preparing us for. And whenever we start to realize and stop focusing on the challenges and we start to see God in everything, and we start to let things go and stop taking things so personal and start to let our emotions go, you start to see how God is going to place you in things. Start to see how God is going to place you with people. And then somehow things are just going to intertwine and everyone has different paths, but at the same time we end up in the same direction. We all want the same thing, right? We all want to be successful. So if you want to be successful, you're all facing the right direction, going towards the same thing. But you have to focus on something. And you can't focus on a bunch of things to get to one place. You have to focus on one thing to get to one place, and that's God. Christ got to many places on his feet, on a donkey, on a boat, and still found himself in the same place as other people. And those people probably never thought that they were going to meet Christ until that day. So, you got to expect the unexpected and realize that God could turn nothing into something. And even though you're going through what you're going through right now, it's just your turn. It's just your turn to go through that season right now. And once that season is over, once you learn that lesson, the quicker you learn it, the way you get that out the way, you start to realize that the process will soon look like the future, even if it doesn't look like it now. So be patient, be kind to one another, love people, and give your all, because you don't know what you're going to do in life. And even if you so blow up per se, or become successful, become the person that you want to become, those people that you helped before are still going to have something to say about you. And you want that to be good things. Not saying you got to kiss up to people, but you want to be a good person at the end of the day, because you still might need those people one day, and those people are going to be looking up to you. So we all have done things in our past that we're not proud of, but we start to begin that. We start to see and start to realize that God does have plans for us, and that he is guiding our steps, and things that happen in our lives are for a reason. But hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Hope y'all feeling loved and blessed as always, bruh. Follow your purpose, follow and just pray to God. Ask him what he wants you to do. Do the things that he says and just follow the steps. Read the word, get into the right things, get into the right scenarios, get with the right people, and just exit out of it. You don't have to be away from your past, but if you focus on your past, there is no future. So focus on your present, focus on the moment, and realize that it's just a process. That's it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.